Okay, my goal this morning is to work my way out of the heavily tourist inner city, which is where I'm at, right over in this area here, to the east, where below that arrow where I have drawn a line that goes to the right and then angles down, and see if I can avoid the tourist impact and yet walk over to the night market where I can buy some more video. I'm on Ta Mung Soi 7, which just means it's an offshoot from 7 going to the west from Ta Mung. And I was lost here a few days ago, so I recognize where I'm at. This temple entrance naga, or beast, it's more like a lion rather than a naga, a snake, is a little bit different because the right one has the beast with its front paws on the shoulders of what may well be a Buddha, looking at that top knot, or that device that goes off the top of the Buddha's head. And just like the seamstress, if you want your laundry done, there's lots of these in the neighborhoods. Okay, I've just crossed over the moat, so I'm now leaving the eastern wall, if you will, of the inner city. I'm going to pick this first little alley and then start roaming, try to avoid places where I'll find the most tourists. That will be a little bit difficult for quite a little ways because there are guest houses absolutely everywhere. There must be, and I'll increase my number now that I'm out of this area. It's got to be somewhere around 500 to 1,000 within this immediate area. You know you're still in a tourist area when you can find the Las Vegas Cafe, but notice that the two words are joined as one in the Thai way. Here, with what looks to be a pretty little stream, and it may well be, and perhaps a very lovely little neighborhood, is a very pretty little bridge with 4 elephants on it. I wouldn't want to swim in this, but on the other hand, there's very little trash in it, and it might be a very pretty place, and the water's moving, so it might not have quite the mosquito impact you'd think. Obvious strategy for dealing with the sun is to make sure you're on the shade side of the street whenever you can. A few blocks away, maybe it's a theme, the Prince Hotel and a couple of cowboys. I am mildly tempted. This spring press brings back memories to me because when I was in Boy Scouts, I earned my merit badge in printing. And we used presses like that in those days. And we also had these boxes of type that we used. But to see one in operation still after what now is 50 years is interesting. And occasionally you see the choppers running around, the big Harley Davidsons, believe it or not. It makes you wonder whether they ship these over or somehow make them here. And sometimes you see elsewhere, certainly other places other than the United States, and maybe a bit there, is that these similar companies seem to flock together, giving customers a little bit of ease, and maybe suppliers also. Here's some more choppers being worked on. Here we've got Honda, BMW motorcycles, Shadow, which I don't know, Suzuki. Here are all kinds of Thinker with various sewing machines. Oh, the old Singers, their style, apparently not that old. And these are probably what Donna calls sergers and other kinds of cool stuff if you know what you're doing with them. So now I'm at this river, so it's probably time to pull my map out and figure out exactly where I am at. Now it's often confusing. The signs oftentimes are showing what the other 90-degree road is. So Tai Wang Road may be the one that goes alongside the river. Okay, so I've wandered from my little line here somewhere up into this area here, because where I'm at now is where that circle is. And this sign is actually showing the road that it is parallel with. So I'm going to go right and start wandering down into what's called Chinatown, see if I can't find the Chinatown Arch. And then Chiang Mo, that street. And then there's a couple of markets there, you'll notice, so I'll go look at those. And then as I keep wandering down, I'll be getting to where I want to go, which is the night market. And this is where this circle here is to find my videos. So there's the bridge that we were looking at. You see people doing something along the water over there, not quite sure what that is. I wouldn't swim in this, although I'm not quite sure what all's in there, but it doesn't look good. But this walkway here is pretty nice that they've created. And then there's this area down here that you can walk on and get access to the water for, again, what reason, I don't know. Maybe they bring tour boats there for some reason, I don't know. A little bit different flowers. Now what you want to notice here is that these flowers are all protected by the tree by being underneath the boughs. Isn't that interesting? Instead of exposed to the light. And they have those little tendrils hanging down from the branches. A little close-up view of the business end. Just a pretty little flower that hangs down rather than, no, it doesn't either. I wonder if it takes a certain hummingbird to get at the nectar in this. Here's a fellow who's found a place for some quiet reflection. Notice that he's wearing a jacket. I find that interesting that people in this part of Thailand where it's so hot later in the day, even during the day, will wear a jacket. Some fishing poles. Notice the white that's tied on the line so you can see where the line is against the color of the water. We're getting into a busy area for some reason. I'm guessing that this entire side of this street is the market plus all of that area and everything back inside of these blocks, believe it or not. You can see the archways there. So we'll wander back into those areas which look are more interesting. Well, the best clue of where we're at is just look at the different lettering. Chinese. None of the cacophony of the streets, nor the cacophony of a similar marketplace where it's kind of like wholesale that we saw in Bangkok. This is kind of a sidecar rig, and there's lots and lots of these. This one being used for produce, although you can have people sit on these benches right here, so it serves a multiple purpose. Look at how this metal's been welded on here to make this rim more secure, more rich. I'm guessing this is the Chinatown Arch. Probably should go over the other side, see if it says Chinatown on it. Here's a little novelty of the of a naga. The snake is forming the top of the wall and then frames part of the entrance, and it does it on both sides. I'm guessing this is another Chinatown Arch. So apparently the police are doing a little spot check at this major intersection of people on motorcycles or maybe the scooters, maybe for licenses or whatever, but stopping a fair. Okay, I'm at the intersection of Tape, Sharoan Prated. So 2 hours later, I'm trying to get away from the tourists, and guess where I am? In the thick of another area. There's more America here and you can shake a stick at. The only thing that actually looks Thai is the 7-Eleven, because they got half as many in Thailand as they do in the entire United States. And it's a blessing. Okay, I found a building with 4 floors in it of computers and all of that high-tech stuff, and I'm told that I can find my DVD or my video cassettes on the 4th floor. So hopefully I can. But there's another place I can try, I think. This is Pantik Hall, 3rd floor. So we'll see if that is the case. Well, I think so. So I asked somebody where I could find a Chinese restaurant. They said climb up on these over street ramp and get one. Well, anyway, theoretically this way. So I'll just pan through here and you can get an idea of this place. What's nice about it is it's inside, it's a little bit cooler. Looks like all kinds of stuff for sale. What I'm looking for is people sitting down so I can get something to eat. I was hoping to find a true Chinese place. This man took the initiative to come over and talk to me, but This is all kinds of dried fruits. This is dried kiwi, believe it or not. And there's some tamarind in there. Some nuts, of course. Almonds. Probably mushrooms up there. All kinds of candies throughout this area and spices here. These little bowls. So he's making these little bowls with a. Somehow they probably have a machine that cut out those leaves or whatever there. Oh, I see. Yeah, perfecto. Kapkun krab. And again, the question that always haunts me, intrigues me, is well, how do they live with everybody having so much of this stuff? They're safe. My guess is that this whole building is predicated on dried condiments and fruits and nuts and so forth. I think I may have found a Chinese restaurant across the street. I think it would make a great restaurant, but it's a Chinese shrine, church, temple. And back where I was earlier this morning, I'm doing a really lousy job of getting lost. On the way back, I saw this old, I think it's a teak house in the traditional style. So we're now at the temple, and while others are going to the bathroom before we go into the temple, I thought I'd get a picture of these flowers. Notice that they're very flat or slightly curved here. But notice how and then looking up above, there are these that look like some kind of fruit, but then there's flowers up above, so we'll look at those.